Welcome to Tiger Talk, your source for information about your hometown and surrounding area. Tiger Talk is brought to you by Whistle Stop Donuts, String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton, Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Commerce Street in Katie's delicious homemade goodness, and Perry's Floors and More.
Make the morning great with a stop at Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main Street in Princeton. Whistle Stop makes their donuts fresh daily, and they're ready on your way to work or school. They have a wide variety of fresh donuts, so you can surprise the office with a dozen delicious donuts. Stop by Whistle Stop today and enjoy a donut or a dozen. They're open 5 a.m. to noon, Monday through Saturday. Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main in Princeton.
And good morning. Welcome to Tiger Talk here on your hometown radio station, WPKY The Tiger at 8:06. And I have the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios two members of the Princeton Rotary Club, have James Boone and Rachel Childress. Good morning.
Good morning.
You need to talk into that thing there, Rachel.
Good morning.
All right. And, boy, it's a beautiful morning. We got a little wind out there. But glad you all came out because you have some exciting things to tell us about some of the happenings going on in the Princeton Rotary Club. And one of those is the Rotary Build-A-Bed project. Tell us about that.
Well, we have noticed that several surrounding communities have been very successful with the Build-A-Bed project. Initially, Shane Fortner from the Madisonville Rotary brought us the information and was hoping that somebody in Princeton would pick up this project, and Rotary thankfully decided to take it on.
Tell us a little bit more, expand on what exactly the Build-A-Bed project is and then who it might serve.
The Build-A-Bed project is mainly for targeting children in need who potentially don't have a bed at home right now, just to help them out, give them a nice place to sleep, good night's rest, start their day at school, and help with their learning process.
You know, we all know how important it is to get a good night's sleep, and that is a big part of being successful, especially in school if you're a kid. I know I didn't have much sleep last night, and I don't know how I'm going to, but it is. It's very important. I mean, as far as getting up, if you're not refreshed when you get up in the morning, it's a lot harder to get anything accomplished and done, and learning is so important. And for a child to have a really nice, comfortable bed to sleep in, it just makes a whole big difference for that child.
That's
right. So Shane brings this from the Madisonville Club. There will be beds made. I guess you've collaborated with several groups. I think I saw on a sheet where you all have collaborated with the vocational school to help you with
That's correct.
this bed.
Yes.
Okay.
Vocational school is going to help out. We're going to get the beds assembled. They're going to help with the staining process. We'll get the beds put together, get applications out there, and then go through with that process, hoping within the next few months to get these out.
So this will be a wood frame bed.
Yes.
Yeah, and it'll be stained to the vocational school. So tell us about the process, the application process. So the club comes together, makes a bed, but it also has an application that you all will receive from someone potentially in need for the bed.
Different Rotary members have talked to various organizations in the community. We've talked to the Hope and Cope Centers. We've talked to the guidance counselors. We've talked to Teresa Wirtz at DCBS. We've talked to Penny Royal Mental Health. And we see that there is a need for this. So those places will have the applications. It can either be done by a referral process, or if you are in need of a bed, you can contact one of those places or one of those people, and they will give the application to you. It's merely just why there is a need for the bed, the child's name, and then a parent's signature.
Right. Now, with those individual organizations, make that determination, or will the club, or do you have a committee or something set up to decide? I mean, I'm taking that if there's pretty much a need, they're going to get a bed.
The organizations will pretty much decide.
Decide, okay.
They'll pass that need along to us, and then we'll.
Okay.
And the beds will be, it's a twin bed.
Wow.
The child will receive the bed frame, the mattress, and one set of bedding.
So it's a complete setup, basically.
It's good to go.
That's really great. And tell us about the bed just a little bit. I'm looking through it, and I've seen various plans out there, but really, I mean, for this quality of a bed, I mean, low cost is about $175 to make this bed. So, how are you all? How are the funding of this project? How is that getting done?
A few different avenues we've got for the funding wise. We have taken some private donations from folks. We've also had our wreath project. If anybody happened to see us go through the parade on Saturday, we raised a good bit of funds there. We're looking somewhere close to $900 we raised out of just that project. We've also applied for and received funds from the Angela and Henry grant. So a few different avenues, some discounts at some retailers to get some of the products, things like that. So it's kind of combined effort.
And this has been, it's been a true combined effort. I know you've partnered with the Community Disciples on some of this, and they do fantastic work in this community along with all our civic clubs. So it's nice too because this community is a giving community, and we can all come together and help each other out. And I'm sure it's been a fun project just for the club itself. It's fun when you fellowship. I can see. I mean, I'm sure this is what club members are going to get together and participate in putting together and making these beds. That's always a good thing.
That's right.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, tell us a little bit more. You mentioned, I can't let this one go, the Rotary Wreath Project. Your float in the Christmas parade Saturday was fantastic. You had, the twin Christmas trees, and you had your wreaths hanging from the trees. Now, tell us a little bit about this project, because the Wreath Project actually helped provide funds for some of these things that the clubs gets done. So tell us a little bit about how the Wreath Project worked.
This is our second year for the Wreath Project. We chose kind of a different venue for the funds that we raised with it this year. Last year we went with the backpack program to raise money for food. This year we've chose the bed project to put the funds towards. But the Wreath Project, basically, the club donates, gives a business or an individual a wreath. They decorate it. We put them on Facebook and have a live auction with them there. So auction ended up, I think, Friday night it was. So, and then we took them through the parade.
And that's the second year for this project.
That's the second year, yes.
Yeah, I thought that was always a great idea. And the wreaths, you get all kinds of, when everybody puts their individuality to them. But they were on the display. And, of course, you all had how many wreaths this year?
I think it was 27 total.
27 wreaths.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is really great. Someone out there that's listening, you all are taking private donations for this as well.
We are.
Tell us a little bit more about that and how folks can do that, get in touch with you all to help with this, and some of the benefits of doing so.
I had several people ask me about donating privately, and that is possible. If anyone would like to donate, they could contact anybody in Rotary or anybody that's on the project committee, and that would be James, Paulette Gray, myself, or Stacy Boone.
Okay. So, folks, if you're out there listening and so this is something that's laying on your heart and you say, hey, I want to help, then see one of those folks. They'd be glad to help you. I know this project, I've heard about this, has been successful in other places. Do you have an example of around here, other civic organizations or clubs where they've implemented this bed project?
I know the Madisonville Rotary Club did it. It was really successful. They delivered a lot of beds. And I believe that there was somebody in Trigg County that did it also.
How long does it take to construct one of the beds, do you know? Depending on
we haven't
your
done
skills.
it yet.
Haven't been there yet, but I feel like we're looking at probably a couple hours tops per bed.
Okay.
It's all said and done.
And you're going to try to initially have, you're going to start with about 10 beds, I think.
Yeah, we're shooting for about 10 beds.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. And the application for the beds will be available through who? All the different, those organizations?
Those organizations. There will also be some applications at Southside Church. I believe it's Sheila Meeks that's in charge of it there, and at the Farm Bureau office.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. So somebody would need to contact them. Of course, I'm sure the school has an avenue for that too if they know of a young person that's in the school system that has a need. for that. And the Hope and Cope Center always, they have the pulse of a lot of the kids here in the community that might be in need. I thought it was cool. I remember being in college, and my roommate, and I won't say his name because he's a local businessman here. But we thought it was so cool. As soon as we moved into a dorm together in college, and we took our bed frames down, put them in the elevator, and sent them downstairs, and thought we'll just sleep on a mattress on the floor. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, that was rough. And not only that, when they came to inventory the room at the end of the semester, we didn't have the bed frames, and guess what? Who had to pay for it? But my point is in making there, though, that semester of those mattresses on the floor, it was not a good semester. You think you're getting it is really tough to get a good night's sleep if your sleeping arrangements are not good, whether it be a couch, whether it be a hard floor, it might even be a recliner. Now, granted, there's some recliners in the afternoon are pretty nice with a fire and a blanket, but it's not conducive to a really good night's sleep. So I think this bed project is really going to be something special for a whole lot of folks. And you're partnering with the vocational school. Now, what departments up there will be helping you in the construction of this, or at least the staining?
Looking through Greg Creekmer's department up
Okay.
at the vocational school, the contractor, the construction class
Okay.
would be, so.
Okay. Well, it's a wonderful project. Let's take a break, and we'll get our heads together back. We'll come back and kind of wrap up and talk a little bit more about this. It's an exciting project the Princeton Rotary Club has going on. It's their Build-A-Bed project, and their goal is to build 10 beds to start with and put those beds to good use for folks who might need them, especially kids. And we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the Princeton Rotary Club Build-A-Bed project. Have the pleasure of having James Boone and Rachel Childress in studio this morning. We'll be back. You're listening to Tiger Talk on your hometown radio station, WPKY, The Tiger.
String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton.
And we are back on Tiger Talk at 8:17. Tying right along with Rachel Childress and James Boone from the Princeton Rotary Club. And we are talking Princeton Rotary Build-A-Bed project. And let's talk a little bit about the Rotary Club. And you all have 30-some members now. The club's
We have a big club.
Yeah, it's been growing. And I've seen it ebb and flow. I used to be a member of the Rotary Club, and, I've seen it, 17, 18, but now 30. So tell us about some of the exciting things the Rotary Club has going on and why you've seen your membership increase.
Well, it's a good group of community-minded folks. We meet for lunch every Tuesday at the Majestic
Hey,
House.
that's today.
That's today.
That's right.
Projects?
Projects-wise, we've
I'm
been
new.
doing, like we've mentioned, the Wreath Project. This is 2 years on that. We did an etiquette class
Yes.
back last spring. We've got intentions on doing that again this coming spring. Let's see.
You provide scholarships to our high schoolers.
Scholarships to high schoolers for actual college class, some that are taking them in college and some that,
Right.
are transferring from high school, making that transition and going to college.
You have a
Let's
national
see.
foundation for polio, and you guys do all. It's a very, very,
That's right.
very.
That's right. From the local level all
Yeah,
the
all the
way
way
to
up.
international.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. If somebody wants to be a member of the club, they can just come out to the Majestic House, I guess, at 11:45, or they be invited by a member.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That is great.
Show up, and one of us will buy your lunch.
That is great. It's a great club, and you all have been very active. And let's get back to our Build-A-Bed project. This is something that you hope you're shooting to have these beds sometime at the beginning of the year?
That's right.
Okay. So probably sometime as the year begins, folks will be able to possibly apply for these beds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And again, this is a collaborative effort. It's like several groups, community disciples have come together to do this.
Yeah, we'll have the applications. Applications should be out and ready by probably first of next week. We'll have them out.
Okay.
We've been missing Paulette out of town for a few days, so
Right.
she was one of the spokes to the wheel there. But
Right.
we'll get things back together there and have applications ready.
Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful project, and I know that I've heard about these projects in some civic clubs, but it's really nice that the Princeton Rotary Club is going to make this happen for our community. I think it'll fit a nice need for some folks and make the beginning of the year much more comfortable.
I think so too.
That's right.
So, thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for your efforts with this project. And folks, if you're out there and you've been listening, it's the Rotary Build-A-Bed Project. Committee members are James Boone, Paulette Gray, Rachel Childress, and did I leave anybody else?
Stacy Boone.
Stacy Boone. So get in touch with them. If it's something that's interests you, or if you know there's a need potentially out there, let them know, and then be looking for the applications, because they are going to start this project. It's going to kick off here really soon for the beginning of the year and make it a really nice year for someone in need. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
you all have a great day. We've been talking to Rachel Childress and James Boone of the Princeton Rotary Club. We've been talking about the Princeton Rotary Club Build-A-Bed project that's coming up. Be looking for those applications. Get in touch with some of these fine folks that are working to put this together. Again, James Boone, Paulette Gray, Rachel Childress, and Stacy Boone. If you have any questions, and join the Rotary Club for lunch on Tuesdays, 11:45. They meet at the Majestic House Restaurant here in Princeton. It's 8:21. Thank you for joining us on Tiger Talk. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and that means it's our extension program here on WPKY Tiger Talk. And then on Thursday, that's Moonlight Madness Day. Elizabeth Shelton, the director of the Princeton-Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce, will be in studio to tell us about the Moonlight Madness sale on Thursday. That's going to wrap Tiger Talk up today on this Tuesday. My thanks to James Boone and Rachel Childress and the Princeton Rotary Club for what they do for our community. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouth-watering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown, homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors and More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors and More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Quality brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. There is a reason why we say you can walk on our reputation. Come see Bill and Lucy at 127 West Market Street or call 270-365-9869.